Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Vavadivichavisundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityananda Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Jannavapataye Namaha Ajanulambita Bujokana Kavadatam Sankirtanaya Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksha Vishwambaro Dejavaro Jugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karunavataro Kanakachaladagatro Nilashonab Janetro Mrigamadavaravalo Malati Kundamala Taralataru Navesho Nilapitam Varesho Smarani Britani Kunje Radhika Krishna Chandra Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvayavina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. A few more times. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. First of all, my limited Dandavat pranams to the lotus feet of Shiva Gurudev. Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Astotra Sata Shishima Bhaktivinoda Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, my dear Shiksha Gurus, dear Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, guests here in Rotterdam and Radha Govinda Gaudiya Mat. So, yeah, finally the mic is okay. I would request Shriman Indubhushan Brahmachari Prabhu to say some words in Dutch about Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, his mission and his pastimes. Okay.
Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Zo, allemaal hartelijk welkom. Een paar woordjes in het Nederlands. Gisteren is Maharaj begonnen met zijn Harikatha over Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. De meeste van jullie zijn wel bekend met Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, maar toch wil ik nog even een kleine introductie geven wie precies Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is. Omdat het zo'n speciale incarnatie is van de Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Daarom is het belangrijk om te weten wat hij eigenlijk gegeven heeft. Want het is niet zomaar iets wat Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu ons gegeven heeft. We hebben eigenlijk de loterij gewonnen, de jackpot. Als je het zo kunnen we het wel vergelijken. Eigenlijk is het nog maar, is het veel meer dan het winnen van de jackpot. Want het is zo uniek om hier eigenlijk in de tijd van Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu aanwezig te zijn, geboorte te hebben genomen. Dus een keer vertelde Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu aan Sanatana Goswami hoe uniek het eigenlijk is om zelfs een Krishna Bhakta te zijn. Hij vertelde tegen Sanatana Goswami. O Sanatana Goswami, van alle levende wezens, er zijn ontelbare levende wezens in deze wereld. Mijn Guru Maharaj zei eens een keer, als je een druppeltje bloed neemt, er zitten zoveel jiva atma's in één druppeltje bloed, meer dan alle menselijke lichamen in deze wereld. Alleen al in een druppeltje bloed. Dus er zijn ontelbare jivas, we zijn allemaal een jiva atma. Een minuscuul kleine spirituele vonk, afscheiding van Sri Krishna. Dus er zijn ontelbare jivas in deze wereld. En alleen maar een een paar hebben het menselijk lichaam. Dus om een menselijk lichaam te hebben is al zoiets speciaals eigenlijk, zei Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maar nog specialer is het om een toegewijde te zijn. Wat Mahaprabhu zei, van alle menselijke lichamen, alle jivas die een menselijk lichaam hebben, zijn er maar een paar die God dienen. Die God vereren. Zei Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. En degenen die God vereren, die doen het eigenlijk om wat terug te krijgen van God. Zoveel mensen gaan naar de kerk, zoveel mensen die vereren God, die gaan naar de tempel, naar de mandir, naar de moskee. Maar eigenlijk willen ze, oh God, geef me een plekje in de hemel. Oh God, geef mij rijkdom. Oh God, geef mij goede gezondheid. Oh Bhagavan, geef me dit, geef me dat. Give me, give me, give me. Dat is eigenlijk de menselijke, materiële aard. Van, we willen iets terug hebben voor wat we doen. En Bhagavan zei, of Mahaprabhu zei tegen Sanatana Goswami, zo van de meeste mensen die God vereren, willen ze eigenlijk wat van God terug hebben. Dit is karma yoga, wordt dat genoemd. Eigenlijk karma wordt dat genoemd. En dus van diegenen die God, Bhagavan vereren, zonder er iets terug voor te hebben. Eigenlijk de meeste die vereren God met eerbied en ontzag. Met Bhagavan is de Allerhoogste. Hij is degene die we eerbied moeten bieden. We zijn zijn dienaar. En Mahaprabhu zei, dus diegenen die zonder iets te vragen de Heer vereren, maar die doen het met Aishwarya, met alle eerbied en ontzag. Want Bhagavan is de Allerhoogste. Maar wat heeft Mahaprabhu nu gegeven? Mahaprabhu die is gekomen in deze wereld voor een hele andere relatie die we kunnen hebben met Bhagavan. In Madhurya, sweetness. Hij heeft ons verteld hoe Krishna in Vrindavan met alle Brajavasis omgaat. En dit is het speciale van het gift van Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Voordat Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kwam in deze wereld, werd Bhagavan werd vereerd met Aishwarya, met respect van hij is de grootste. Maar Madhurya, dat is het gift van Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Madhurya, deze sweetness, deze relatie van de Brajavasis, dat is de allerhoogste relatie. Want Bhagavan, hij wordt gecontroleerd door de prem, door de liefde van de Brajavasis. Er is niks hoger, niks meest plezierender voor Bhagavan Krishna dan de prem, de Braj prem. Zelfs toen Krishna Vrindavan verliet, hij trouwde met 16.108 prinsessen in Dwarka. Hij leefde in de mooiste paleizen. Je kan niet voorstellen hoe mooi Dwarka was. Alles was daar. Hij had 9 zonen of 10 zonen en van alle 16.108 prinsessen had hij 10 zonen en een dochter. Maar nog, elke dag, wat deed hij? Hij baadde in het zweet, oh Radharani, oh Visakha, oh Lalita, where are you? Hij was altijd geabsorbeerd in Vrindavan. Oh Maya, oh Mother Yasoda, oh Nanda, Maharaj. So, altijd, oh Sridham, oh Arjun, oh Madhumangal. Altijd was hij aan het denken aan Vrindavan. So, dit is de Braj Prem. Dat is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Je heeft dat in de wereld gegeven aan ons. Want wie is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, hij is Krishna. Krishna is verschenen 500 jaar geleden in India en West-Bengal. Een incarnatie, direct incarnatie van Krishna. Maar een hele speciale incarnatie. Want van binnen is die Radharani. Want Krishna, hij is Bhagavan. Hij is de object van liefde. Object van alle prem. Maar toen hij in de spirituele wereld zag hij de prem van Radharani, van de gopis. Toen werd hij volledig in onbegrip. Hij zag, ik ben het object van zuivere liefde, maar ik zie de extase van Radharani, ik zie de extase van de Braja Gopis. Wat is die liefde, wat ervaren ze als ze mij zien? Zo Maharaj heeft gisteren uitgelegd. Voor deze reden kwam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna kwam naar deze wereld, voor 2 dingen. Hij kwam om te kijken, om te proeven wat het is om een dienaar te zijn van Krishna. Krishna zelf is Bhagavan. Maar hij weet niet wat het is, hoeveel extase het geeft om een dienaar te zijn. Zo Radharani is de allerhoogste dienares. Niemand heeft meer prem dan Radharani. Zo voor deze reden kwam die met het gemoed van Radharani. En daarom was Mahaprabhu altijd aan Krishna aan het denken. Mahaprabhu zei niet, ik ben Bhagavan. Nee, hij zei, ik ben de dienaar van de dienaar van de dienaar. Want dat is Bhakti. Bhakti zegt niet, ik ben een grote devotee. Radharani zegt, iedereen is een dienaar, behalve ik. Zo Mahaprabhu, die gaf zoveel voorbeeld. Zo Mahaprabhu heeft voor ons gegeven wat het betekent om een dienaar te zijn. Hij kwam om te proeven en hij kwam om te geven. Dus dit is het unieke van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. En hij gaf het allerhoogste. Wat je in Satyayug niet kon krijgen. Al stond je duizenden jaren op één been, al deed je zomaar tapasya. Mensen in Satyayug deden zomaar tapasya. Ze leefden wel 100.000 jaar. Ze deden zomaar austerity, maar ze konden nooit Brajprem krijgen. Dat was niet available. En ook niet in Dwarapayug, in Tretayug, Ramachandra, in Dwarapayug, Sri Krishna came. Maar Mahaprabhu geeft Brajprem, die allerhoogste. En wat voor Brajprem? Madhurya Prem. De conjugal love, de hoogste liefdesrelatie. Dus dit is het gift van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hij kwam niet alleen om te proeven, maar hij kwam het ook om aan ons te geven. Zo, ons doel van Bhakti is het chanten van de heilige namen. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Maar om daar in de spirituele wereld, in Vrindavan, daar willen we naartoe. Als een dienaresje van Srimati Radhika. So, dat is ons allerhoogste doel. En dat is een heel speciaal gift van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Zo, Mahaprabhu, we kunnen niet voorstellen hoe genadig wat zijn. Want we zijn hier in het menselijk lichaam. In de tijd van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hebben we geboorte genomen. Zo, we zijn ongelooflijk fortuinlijk. Zo, Mahaprabhu, of Maharaj, die gaat vandaag en morgen uitleggen wat Mahaprabhu allemaal als voorbeeld heeft gegeven. Morgen is het Kunditya Marjana. Is het tomorrow? Kunditya or day after? Day after tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Jagannatha Puri.
Zo, morgen is het ook een hele speciale dag. Gadada Pandit's verschijningsdag. Verdwijningsdag. En Gadada Pandit was Srimati Radhika zelf. Want als Mahaprabhu komt, als Krishna komt, altijd is Radharani daar. Als Krishna komt, als Ramachandra, Sita Thakurani is de expansie van Radharani. Radharani is altijd waar Krishna is. Want het is Krishna Sakti, Krishna's energy. Zo om te kijken of Mahaprabhu zijn rol goed uitvoerde. Of hij kon begrijpen de moed van Radharani. Daarom kwam Gadada Pandit. En daardoor is deze lila van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heel speciaal. En we zijn zo fortuinlijk dat we deze lila's kunnen horen. En vooral onder begeleiding van de zuivere toegewijden. Onder begeleiding van de zuivere toegewijde die het allerhoogste heeft gerealiseerd. Die Krishna in zijn hart kan waarnemen en die zuivere liefde heeft ontvangen. Er is een song van Lochan Das Thakur. Kejabi Bai, Bhava Sindhu. Deze song die zegt van, oh iedereen kom op de boot van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Er staat een boot voor ons te wachten. We moeten op die boot stappen van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. En er moet altijd een kapitein zijn op een boot. Als je in een oceaan, de oceaan van het materiële bestaan wordt dit gezegd. We zitten in de oceaan. Maar om een oceaan over te steken naar de spirituele wereld, dan moet je een boot hebben. En de boot is het gegeven door Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. En de wind is de zuivere liefde. Maar een boot moet een kapitein hebben. Als je zonder kapitein op een boot zit, en als je geen ervaring hebt, als je niet weet waar je naartoe moet varen, dan kom je nooit over die oceaan heen. Want je hebt geen idee waar je kan. Dus de kapitein is de guru. Onder begeleiding van guru kunnen we dit pad volgen. Want die weet hoe je naar die andere kant moet, naar de spirituele wereld. Zo we kunnen bidden tot Mahaprabhu, tot Sri Krishna. Dat een guru in ons pad, op ons pad kan komen, die ons naar die andere kant kan brengen. Onder begeleiding van de kapitein kunnen we op het schip Harinam chanten. Harinam is de wind. En Prem brengt ons naar de andere kant. Zo, dank jullie nogmaals voor het komen. Maharaj wil ons verder vertellen over de lilas van Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. En vooral morgen en overmorgen. Dit is een hele belangrijke dag. Dankjewel. Thank you so much, Maharaj. En wie verstaat er geen Engels? Want ik ga even de essentie een beetje van wat Maharaj vertelt, zal ik achterin Je moet even achterin op het bankje plaatsnemen. Dan zal ik hier en daar wat vertalen. Ik kan niet alles vertalen, want Maharaj die spreekt heel veel. So, maar ik ga achterin zitten voor de vertaling. Thank you.
Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. Does everyone understand English?
No, I told him.
Okay, so the Bhushan Prabhu will sit in the back. Whoever needs translation, you can be seated at the back.
This mic is same of this stand is literally the same.
Yeah,
It's little.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. So yesterday we heard the sweet pastimes of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu on the way to Jagannatha Puri. So he spent 24 years as a householder and 24 years as a sannyasi, you heard. So these leelas, which are on the way to Jagannatha Puri, are already after sannyas, after Mahaprabhu received sannyas. You remember how it was? He actually told that mantra, sannyas mantra, to Keshava Bharati. And first he initiated Keshava Bharati, his sannyas guru, and then he received that same mantra from Keshava Bharati. So that actually came from him. So then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the house of Sri Advaita Acharya. We heard yesterday how Nityananda Prabhu, by trick, brought him to Navadvip, to Shantipur, the house of Advaita Acharya, instead of Vrindavan. We also heard why he wasn't meant to go to Vrindavan at that time, because he was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And if he was in Vrindavan, then his Krishnatva would have been revealed. His qualities of Krishna would have been revealed. So that wasn't proper. That is why he came to Advaita Acharya's house. And so many millions, actually, residents of Navadvip, they came to see him for the last time before his tour to Jagannatha Puri. He was still having an idea to go to Vrindavan, but instead he was meant to go to Jagannath Puri. His mother Shachi asked him, "Oh, please don't be as cruel as your brother Vishwarup," because Vishwarup had to go. Vishwarup left home without any knowledge, any message, so they never saw him again. But Gauranga Mahaprabhu agreed to his mother to stay in Jagannath Puri, because in Jagannath Puri, Jagannath Puri is not so far, and so many devotees could see him, but never Mother Sachi. Mother Sachi was not going to see him. So, okay, good. So Mahaprabhu took 4 of his followers: Lord Nityananda, Jagadananda Pandit, Chandrasekhara Acharya, and Mukunda Datta, and they were going to Jagannath Puri. So in Jagannath Puri, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to experience the separation which was in Srimati Radhika's heart, because Jagannath Puri corresponds to Dwaraka, as the same as Dwaraka, the same line. So what Radha is feeling while in Vrindavan, well, Krishna is in Dwaraka. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced in Puri. Then, on the way, him and his followers, they were crossing Remuna, a very significant place. In Remuna, there's a temple of Gopinath. That Gopinath is called Kshirachora nowadays. Means the sweet rice thief. Yes, Kshirachora. So why? Mahaprabhu saw that very wonderful deity, and he told his devotees told the story how Gopinath became Kshirachora, how he was how he gained that name of butter thief. I'm sorry, gained that name of sweet rice thief. Haribol, now we can hear me better. Everything fine now?
Yeah.
Okay, don't look at the microphone. As Gurudev was saying, don't look at the monkeys. In Gopinath Bhavan, when Gopinath Bhavan was being built back in 2002, and Gurudev was speaking in the morning, monkeys doing there was no roof. There was a pandal type of cloth roof. So monkeys are doing their activities, so everybody's going up. Gurudev saying, don't look at the monkeys. Okay, so don't look at the mic. Don't look at the miceys. No problem what microphone is doing today. It's freaking out a little bit. Don't worry. So our subject is Mahaprabhu, be fixed. Right. So then Mahaprabhu told the story of Kshirachara Gopinath. It's related to Sri Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was a very, very great saint. He is called Premankur, the first sprout of prema, first sprout of divine love. So Madhavendra Puripad was such an exalted personality. As soon as he was seeing a black cloud, he was crying and he was fainting because of his love of Krishna. Then he came to Vrindavan and he was sitting, not even begging. So some devotees are practicing Madhavendra Puri style. They are not even putting donation box. Nothing is written. No donation box. So if somebody gives something, oh, very good. If nobody gives anything, also very good. So Madhavendra Puripat was sitting next to Govardhan and he was meditating on the pastimes of Krishna. But one day, a very beautiful black complexioned boy came by and he said, "Oh, Baba, you're fasting. But here in Vrindavan, nobody should fast. My mother sent you this cup of milk, sweet milk. You please take." And Madhavendra Puripad was so mesmerized, he couldn't forget that boy. And when he took that milk, he was in complete ecstasy. And then the boy left, and Madhavendra Puripad was not able to forget that boy. And in the middle of the night, he slept a little bit, and he dreamt of that same boy. That same boy came in his dream, and he said, "Oh, Baba, actually, my name is Gopal, and I'm hidden here in the bushes near Govardhan. Some time ago, the foreign invaders were about to invade all the Vraj, and the local residents, they hid me there in the bushes. So I'm very, very hungry, I'm very thirsty, I'm very, very fatigued. You please dig me out and give me some food, give me some water to drink." So Madhavendra Puripad was in a complete amazing. When the morning came, he understood what was going on. That was Gopal, Krishna himself. And he gave him that wonderful vision. And he told him, "Oh, I'm hidden here. So please take the help of local residents and dig me out." So he took local residents, gave them spades and things to dig with, and they started digging. And finally, very, very wonderful deity appeared. So the happiness knew no bounds. Immediately, so many residents of local villages brought so much bhog. There was a mountain of rice, there were ponds of dal, and there were huge masses of sabjis and preparations, halwa and sweet rice, and different kinds of cakes, and many sweets. Everything was brought to Gopal, and Gopal was very, very happy. So then he came to, after everything was done and the worship of the deity was starting, he came in a dream to Madhavendra Puripad again, and he said, "Oh, Actually, I'm feeling very hot. I'm feeling very hot. Please go to Malaya Mountains and bring some chandan. Bring some sandalwood paste for me to get cooled because it's very hot. So you please go. And Malaya Mountains were very far away in the northeast of India. So Madhavendra Puripad was walking. There was no transport like now, no planes, no trains. So he was walking a long way, and finally he got that chandan. He got that sandalwood paste, and on the way back he stopped just in Remuna, in that place. And a very wonderful deity of Gopinath was there. So the deity of Gopinath was actually carved by Lord Ramachandra's arrows. Lord Ramachandra carved the deity with his arrows. So when Madhavendra Puripad saw the wonderful deity, he was so much attracted to the deity. And at night, Gopal gave him a dream again. And in a dream, Gopal said, "Oh, Madhavendra Puri, there's no need for you to return to Braj, because I'm not different from that Gopinath. You can smear Gopinath's body with that paste, and I will be satisfied." So he left the paste for the pujari, but he noticed that the pujaris are offering very, very special preparation for Gopinath. It was called Amrita Keli, a very special type of kheer. Very, very special type of kheer. So he was thinking, oh, I want to taste that kheer so that I can prepare a similar kheer to my deity. But he caught himself at the thought, oh, I'm like a thief. You know, I wanted to taste something which hadn't been offered to Thakuraji. So I'm feeling that I'm an offender. And he couldn't stay at the temple. He said, oh, I will go to the marketplace in the middle of the city and I will spend the night there. So he went there, but at night, Gopinath came to Pujari in a dream and he said, oh, I have hidden one pot of that kheer of Amrita Keli, the wonderful preparation you made, just behind the curtain. Please go immediately to the temple room and discover that little pot of kheer and bring to a great personality called Madhavendra Puri, who is now in the marketplace. He's spending night there. Please take that kheer and bring it to the marketplace and find Madhavendra Puri and give that to him. Oh, Pujari woke up in the middle of the night, about 12 o'clock, and oh, the deity ordered him to go to the temple room and discover some pot of kheer. Immediately he went to the temple and he opened the curtain. And oh yes, everything was exactly in the same way as the deity told. Behind the curtain there was a pot of kheer hidden by the deity to satisfy his dear devotee, Madhavendra Puripad. So he took that kheer and he went to the marketplace and he started to call, oh, who is Madhavendra Puri? Who is Madhavendra Puri? The deity has brought a piece of kheer, a pot of kheer for you. Please receive that gift from the deity. So Madhavendra Puripad approached and he couldn't really believe. Well, he took that kheer immediately and he took the pot and practically crushed it into the dust, so much into little pieces. And he took in a piece of cloth with himself as Mahaprasad. And he was afraid. He was afraid that glory and recognition will come to him. So he was so much desperate and he decided, I have to leave. Even before the morning came, he left that place. He left that place and he said, oh, I'm afraid of recognition. I'm afraid of glory. But his name and fame came after him. That is the nature of devotees' glories. Devotees don't want any glories. Devotees are escaping the glories. But the glories, they come to capture the devotee. So that is a kind of competition. So when he came to Jagannatha Puri, everybody knew about the story, and devotees surrounded him with so much glorification. But he deserved that. So Madhavendra Puripad, such a great personality. So Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu had told that story to his followers, and then they proceeded further on, and finally they were going more towards Orissa, because Jagannatha Puri is the capital, I mean the most important city in Orissa, so they were going down to more places in Orissa, and finally they came to a place which is now called Saksi Gopal. Saksi Gopal, the witness Gopal. Gopal, the witness. And then Nityananda Prabhu, who had that story before, he told that story to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers. He said, there were two Brahmanas, the old Brahman and the young Brahman. And they were from Vidyanagar, from South India. And they decided to go on pilgrimage. The young Brahman was serving the old Brahman so much. On the way, they visited so many places, Prayag, etc., etc., and then they went to Vrindavan. First they went to Mathura, and then they went to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, they resided in a very, very nice temple, Gopal, temple of Gopal, which was right next to the temple of Govindaji. You know Govindaji, his most important temple of Vrindavan nowadays. So Gopal was right next to it. And the deity of Gopal was so much amazing, and they got so much attached to the deity of Gopal that they couldn't really leave that temple. And also, but anyway, the time came for them to go. So the old Brahman was so much satisfied with the service the younger Brahman was rendering to him, and he said, "Oh, my dear boy, you have rendered me so much service. I'm so much obliged. I would like very much to return that service you give and give you some reward. I have to give you something, otherwise I would consider myself a miser." But the youth said, "Oh, my dear sir, you're an old man, you like my father, and actually it's my duty to serve you. I don't require any reward. I was serving you selflessly." "No, no, I'm obliged to you. I must reward you." The old man was insisting. So then he promised, "Oh, when we come back, I promise that I will give my younger daughter to you in marriage." Okay, so the old man was very rich, and the young Brahman knew that he was very rich. And considering this, the young man said, "Oh, please don't promise this, because I know your family will never agree." And in that case, the situation would be like when Krishna wanted to marry Rukmini, his brother Rukmi was so much against. But then Rukmini, she wrote the letter to Krishna, and Krishna kidnapped her. But officially, how to say, legally, marriage was not possible because Rukmi was strongly against. He wanted Rukmini to marry Shishupal. So the young Brahman reminded the old Brahman about that situation, and he said, "Oh, I don't want my situation to be like this." So they were arguing for some time. I said, "Don't promise this." So this conversation was taking place just in front of the deity of Gopal. So the young man was really anxious to not to offend the deity, because the old younger young man was requiring, "You please give your promise in front of the deity." But the elder Brahman was very much hesitant. So anyway, they were staying in Vrindavan for some time, and the older Brahman promised in front of the deity, okay, this young Brahman is so dear to me, I promise that I will give my younger daughter in marriage when we get back. So finally they went home. The old man informed his eldest son that his younger sister had to be married to the poor Brahmana youth. He said, oh, this is a young Brahman, and my younger sister had to be married. So the eldest son became very angry. Oh, how have you selected that pauper's husband to my sister? It cannot be so. So he went, he was very, very angry actually, with a stick in his hand. He went and he started talking to the young Brahman. If you marry our daughter, if you marry my sister, then I'll beat you up. Right. The old man's wife also came to him and said, oh no, if you marry out that daughter to that boy, I'll commit suicide. So she was so much broken-hearted. The old man was just perplexed what to do. He was in a complete fix. After some time, Brahmana youth became very anxious. Oh, he has promised to marry his daughter to me, and he made that promise before the deity. Now he's not going to fulfill his promise. So then he went to see the old man to remind about his promise. He said, well, listen, you have promised before Krishna, before Gopal, that you will marry your daughter to me. You have to fulfill your promise. You're not fulfilling, you're not saying anything. How is that? So the old man was silent. He began praying to Krishna, what to do, because he was so much perplexed. And he didn't want to marry his daughter to the youth. And also, he didn't want to cause so much trouble to the family. So in the meantime, the elder son came out and began to accuse the Brahmana youth. You have planted my father in the place of pilgrimage. You probably gave him some intoxicant. And when he was not able to do anything, you made him promise to the deity that he would give his younger daughter to you, you rascal. So much noise there was, and people began to gather in India, much noise, immediately people gather. So the youth, the young Brahmana, could not understand that the old man was still agreeable and that the family was making it difficult for him. So people began to gather, and because of the noise, and the Brahman youth began to explain to them that the old man made the promise before the deities that he could not fulfill it because the family was objecting. And the eldest son, who was an atheist, suddenly interrupted the youth and said, you say that the Lord was witnessing. Well, if he comes and bears witness to this promise of my father's, you can have my sister in marriage. Okay, let your Lord come and let your Lord witness, be Sakshi, witness. So the young Brahman replied, okay, I'll go to Vrindavan, I will ask Krishna, I will ask Gopal. So Gopal comes and witnesses. So now it was confident. So the Lord had to come, and the young Brahman went to Vrindavan all the way, long way, and he prayed to Gopal Krishna, oh dear Lord, please come with me to Vrindavan. You have to come with me to Vrindavan. So he was such a staunch devotee, really fixed devotee. So the deity accepted his prayers, and the deity was very happy actually to go with him. But the deity asked, how do you think I will go with you? I'm a statue. I'm stable. I cannot walk. I cannot go anywhere. Well, if a statue can talk, then a statue can walk. The Brahmana said, all right then, the deity said, I shall go with you, but on one condition. You should not look back at any time. Always look forward. It means the young Brahmana had to have faith in his heart that the deity is really following. So that was the check also from the deity. And Gopal said, okay, I'll follow you. And how will I know that you'll follow me? Oh, by the jingling sound of my ankle bells, you will know. And Gopal said, okay, the young Brahmana agreed. In this way, they left Vrindavan and they went to another town. And long time they were traveling, many days and nights. And when finally, when the trip was nearly over, they had came almost to their village. And then, when some distance remained, then the jingling sound of the bells stopped. And then the Brahmana was thinking, where is Krishna? Where is Gopal? And he was unable to contain himself any longer, and he looked back. So, and he saw Gopal standing there. He saw Gopal standing there, witnessing. But that was quite a distance away from the village. So everyone was astounded to see such a big deity standing there on the hill. So finally, they built a temple, Sakshi Gopal. Nowadays also there's a train station, Sakshi Gopal, we can come and visit, but unfortunately they don't allow Westerners. But you could come, I think, most of you, and visit. So Sakshi means witness, so Sakshi Gopal, the Lord as the witness. So what is the conclusion of this story? So
what happened? So they brought the whole family to the deity?
Yes. So finally Gopal was the witness, and the young Brahmana received the younger daughter of the older Brahmana, and all the family was satisfied. Yeah. So
Gopal said, yes, I was witness. So he was speaking in front of
yeah.
So they were shocked.
Yeah. So the Supreme Lord is everywhere, and he can speak also, and the deity can speak. Nowadays, deities don't speak because we don't have so much faith in Kali Yuga. But in previous times, in previous ages, they were able to speak. Remember how Sri Sanatana Goswami found Madan Mohan. Yeah, so he found Madan Mohan in the house of his friends, on his friend's house in Mathura, Chaube Brahman. Brahman Chaube was not home on that day. Sanatana Goswami was collecting in Mathura, so he came, and the wife of Chaube Brahmana, Chauben, she was preparing some food, and her son was playing with his friend Gopal, and his friend Madan. And Sanatana Goswami noticed, oh, a very nice boy, very nice boy. And then somehow Mohan, as a Madan lost in the game, and he was dissatisfied. He said, "Oh, I'm not gonna play with you. And he ran away in the temple room and jumped onto the altar and became a deity, standing in the temple room. Sanatana Goswami is looking. What is that? And so many other instances like that. And then at the end, Madan was so much attached to Sanatana. He said, "Oh, Baba, I want to go with you. Will you take me to Vrindavan?" "No, I'm an old Baba, and also I cannot cook for you properly. So please stay here, I won't be able to look after you." And anyway, "I will go with you. How will you go with me?" "Oh, no problem, I'll just follow you." Then Sanatana Goswami was coming to Vrindavan, and the deity was going all the way. And then Sanatana Goswami put him on a branch of a tree. "Okay, you live here. Stay here." And Sanatana Goswami was living very, very austerely. He was preparing only dough balls. some dough, when you take flour and water and mix, there will be dough, right? So he was making those dough balls and just roasting them on some ashes. Right, so it's called bhatti. Yeah, no salt, no sugar, nothing, just like this. So he was offering that to Gopal, to Madan Gopal, his name was still. And Madan is saying, in the dream, he's coming to Sanatana Goswami's dream and saying, "Oh, Baba, what are you offering me? Would you put some salt on top? Want to put some salt on top?" Now you're talking about the salt. You're talking about salt. I was telling you, I'm an old Baba. I cannot offer you anything. Now you're asking for some salt. Tomorrow you ask for some sugar. Day after tomorrow you'll ask for some sabji. So, so like this. So the end of the story was very, very sweet. A great merchant, Krishnadas Karpur, was on a barge which was going through Vrindavan to Mathura, and he sold so much salt, and he promised that he would build a temple for Madan. So finally he built a temple. So I just gave that an example that formerly deities were talking, and we have to have faith in the deities. The deity is installed by great Acharya, like here. Also we have deities, so they can talk, they can walk, they can witness, be sakshis, be witnesses, and also they can give all blessings. They can do everything. They can give Krishna prem. They can witness. They can talk. They can walk. But what to do? We have no faith, or very little faith. But we are growing our faith. The deity worship is a process from the previous yuga, from Dwapara. But even now, the process is going on, so it's bona fide. It's one of the 9 processes of bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam. But the real purpose of Archan is bhajan. Through Archan, through worshipping the deity, we develop taste for Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. So that's proper bhajan. Right now, we're offering material ingredients, but when we are mature in our bhajan, then we will serve with our spiritual body. That will be the final point of our bhajan, Manasa Seva. Right now we serve deities, and the deities, certainly they're not material, but still we purchase them, and the deity makers, they carve them. So those processes can be called physical, but actually that is meant for real bhajan, real seva. Now we can perform our bhajan, perform our seva to these deities who are visible. These deities are visible for us. So the Lord manifests in this world in 2 ways, as Harinama, the holy name, as also as Sri Vigraha. Vigraha. V means special and Graha means manifestation. The special manifestation is the holy name as in Vigraha. So we worship Vigraha by Nama, by the holy name. And as a result, our body will become spiritual by Nama offered to Vigraha. And then in our spiritual body, we will see our Vigraha face to face. Not only see, but we will experience rasa. So Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to do that. So Mahaprabhu and his associates were going towards Jagannatha Puri. And finally, they were very, very near Jagannatha Puri. They were at little river which was floating just near Jagannatha Puri. Then Gauranga Mahaprabhu wanted to visit the temple which was in that village, Koteshwar Mahadev. And Nityananda and his associates, they were staying by the river, waiting for Mahaprabhu. when Mahaprabhu came back, he asked, "Oh, where is my danda?" He was carrying his sannyas danda, you know, and nobody could find it. But then somebody pointed out, "Oh, this danda in 3 pieces, danda broken in 3 pieces." So Mahaprabhu saw danda was broken in 3 pieces. So actually, it became known that that's Nityananda's work. Nityananda broke Gauranga Mahaprabhu's danda and threw it in the river. Only Nityananda could do that. Why? Because Nityananda Prabhu has a special mission. Nityananda is the first expansion of Krishna, Balaram. And he is the presiding deity of Sandhini Shakti, of existence, potency of existence. So Nityananda is everything, including Danda. Danda is also Nityananda, Balaram. So he was able to sustain Mahaprabhu, to support him when Mahaprabhu was falling unconscious. Nityananda was able to support him. Nityananda was able to appease him. And Nityananda was also able to break his danda. Why did Nityananda do that? Because what is that? Mahaprabhu is much higher than any danda or any material, how to say, any formal symbols of recognition like a sannyasi, etc. That's one meaning. Another meaning, the danda of Mahaprabhu was eka. It was made of one part. Because Mahaprabhu formally took sannyas from Keshava Bharati, who belonged to Shankara Sampradaya. He was not a Mayavadi. Mayavadis are people who are thinking that this world is Maya. And there are also people who think that we are one with the Supreme. They are maintaining the idea that we have to melt into the Supremes, into the existence of the Supreme. So that is the symbol of monism, one. Everything is one. But Nityananda said no, 3. He broke danda into 3. Because in theistic philosophy, there are 3 elements in the triangle: Ishvara, Jiva, and Maya. Ishvara, Jiva, and Maya. So Ishvara is attainable for the Jiva through bhakti. And the process of bhakti is symbolized by the danda, because we're serving with body, mind, and words, kaya, mana, vacha. We're serving with body, mind, and words. So 3. Also, we're having 3 here, and sannyasis are having 3 danda of 3 pieces. But Nityananda broke the big danda, which was eka danda, into 3. So he pointed out that kaya, mana, vacha, by body, by mind, by words, you have to serve Bhagavan always. Also on the top of the danda, there's a little jiva like this, like a little half moon. It's attached to the danda on the top. So therefore, jiva has to serve. The symbol is that the jiva has to serve Bhagavan with body, mind, and words. So the system was introduced by
This thing is Jiva?
Jiva, yeah.
That's the Jiva.
Yeah, that's how I heard. So the system was introduced by Lord Nityananda, Balaram. So Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. So Nityananda Prabhu did that, but Mahaprabhu formally, he was not satisfied. He was sort of angry. He said, "Oh, why did you do that? I don't really need your association. I will go to Jagannatha Puri by myself, and then you will follow." So he went to Jagannatha Puri by himself, and he entered Jagannath temple by himself, alone. So that was also desire of the Lord. When Mahaprabhu entered the temple, the great personality Sarvabhauma Bhattacarya was then in the temple. Sarvabhauma Bhattacarya was an impersonalist. He was actually the leader of the sampradaya of impersonalists. But he was very much attracted by Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath with big eyes. He actually saw Krishna with the flute in Vrindavan, in the mood of Radharani. But he saw Jagannath in a different way than the residents of Jagannatha Puri were viewing. So immediately he fell flat on the ground, unconscious. So the servitors of the temple, they were thinking, oh, he is creating havoc. We have to remove him from the temple. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya stopped them and said, no, don't touch him. Because he could see in the body of Mahaprabhu the great manifestations of prema. He was very educated, although he was an impersonalist. He knew the Shastras, he knew the scriptures, and he could tell that those manifestations were of very high level. There are 5 manifestations of external bhavas, of Ashtasatvika bhavas, 8 ecstatic manifestations which are visible in the body. First one is Dhumayita, means only smoke. And then Jvalita means little fire, just fire is just setting up. Then the third one is Dipta, means burning. Dipta, Uddipta, burning strongly, and Suddipta, burning completely strongly, very strongly. So at the first level, Dhumaita, just 1 or 2 Sattvika bhavas are visible. And on the second level, maybe 3 or 4, Dhumaita, Jvalita, then Dipta, maybe 4 or 5, Uddipta, maybe 5, 6, but Suddipta, all 8. And that highest level of Suddipta, full flame, is not at all pertaining to any jiva. That's not the jiva level. It's the highest level. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was not able to believe his eyes. He said, oh, that's typical only to high personalities, to divine personalities. How an ordinary jiva can have it? So he started thinking, oh, this is really special manifestation. So Chaitanya remained unconscious for a long time. So while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was unconscious, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, with the help of the watchman and some disciples, he carried Gauranga Mahaprabhu to his home, and he laid him down in a special room. So then Bhattacharya took fine cotton swab and put in before the Lord's nostrils, and when finally he saw the cotton was moving slowly, so he was sitting beside Mahaprabhu and he was thinking, this is a transcendental ecstatic transformation brought about by love of Krishna. So upon seeing the sign of Suddhipa Sattvika, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya immediately understood that that's the transcendental transformation. But he was not able to understand the position of Mahaprabhu still. So while Bhattacharya was thinking in this way, devotees of Mahaprabhu headed by Nityananda came, and the servitors of the temple told them, oh, there was such a personality, and he was carried away by Sarvabhauma to his house. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was not a devotee, but his son-in-law, Gopinathacharya, was a great devotee, and he was a follower of Mahaprabhu. So Sarvabhauma and Gopinathacharya, they had a philosophical dispute about Mahaprabhu's identity. Very sweet was the meeting of devotees and Gopinathacharya and Mukunda Datta especially. And he embraced Sarvabhauma, and they were discussing the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Bhattacharya then everybody was pleased to see Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and finally Gauranga Mahaprabhu came back to his senses, and he got up and very loudly chanted, Hari, Hari. Sarvabhauma was very happy to see that the Lord regained consciousness. Bhattacharya then arranged for baths of his guests, and he offered obeisances to Mahaprabhu, and he said Namo Narayana, because he was Mayavadi sannyasi, and in the tradition of sannyasis there was a habit to call Namo Narayana, means you have become Narayana. But Mahaprabhu answered, Krishna Matirastu, let your consciousness be closer to Krishna. So like this, from those words, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could conclude he's a Vaishnava sannyasi. Immediately he could understand. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was having great sympathy for Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu actually was the grandson of his classmate. And his classmate was Nilambar Chakravarti, the father of Shachimata. So that's why, in a village connection, Navadvip, they're both from Navadvip. Actually, Sarvabhauma was also from Navadvip. So he was feeling so much sympathy for the young sannyasi, 24-year-old. And so he said, you're naturally respectable, you're a sannyasi. I want to become your personal servant. Like this, he said. As soon as Mahaprabhu heard from Bhattacharya, immediately he remembered Lord Vishnu and began to speak. Oh, you're a teacher of Vedanta, you're a master of all the people, and well-wisher of all. So also, you're benefactor of sannyasis, so you're also my benefactor. You wish only good for me, so you please instruct me, like this. Mahaprabhu was also very, very respectful to all his elders. And Sarvabhauma was like on the level of his grandfather, so he was respecting him so much. Although the Lord knew certainly that he was a Mayavadi. So Bhattacharya requested him, oh, please don't go and see the deity alone. Always go with some people. I will give you my servants. You will go to see the deities with them. So then the Lord promised, okay, I will do that. So then Gopinath Acharya showed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where's the water and arranged for everything. And the next day, Gopinath Acharya took Gauranga Mahaprabhu to see the Lord, and they had darshan of Jagannath. So then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started speaking to Gopinath, his father-in-law, his son-in-law, and then he asked about Mahaprabhu. From which sampradaya has he accepted sannyas? Gopinath Acharya said, oh, his name was Sri Krishna Caitanya, and he is sannyasa disciple of Keshava Bharati. So Keshava Bharati became very fortunate. We heard yesterday how Keshava Bharati gave sannyas to Mahaprabhu. I mean, Mahaprabhu gave him the mantra. So he said, oh, Keshava Bharati was very, very fortunate. So Bhattacharya said, oh, Krishna, Sri Krishna is a very good name, but he belongs to Bharati community, and Bharati community is second class. So I'm eager to upgrade his qualification, so that he becomes a higher grade sannyasi. Right. I shall continuously recite Vedanta philosophy before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so that he can be upgraded like this. So Gopinath Acharya and Mukunda Datta were very, very unhappy to hear that. Very unhappy. But anyway. So then there was a debate between Gopinath Acharya and Sarvabhauma. Gopinath Acharya was saying, oh, Sarvabhauma asked, by what evidence do you conclude that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord? You're calling him the Supreme Lord. What is your evidence? Then the disciples of Bhattacharya who were also there, they were supporting him. And Gopinath Acharya said, oh, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead only by his mercy. So if one receives but a tiny bit of the Lord's favor, then you can understand the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you can conclude. that that's Supreme Personality of God. It's a very important point. Very important point. But Gopinath Acharya, people ask us, atheistic people ask, how do you understand that it's the Supreme Lord on your altar? How do you understand that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme? By His mercy. So the factor of faith is very important. We have to put faith. But the faith should not be blind also. The faith should be scientific and, how to say, infused by the great Vaishnavas, heart to heart. Finally, atheists, they have faith also in their theories. Theory of the Big Bang and all those things. They have so many theories they put their faith in. Science fiction. But still they have faith. Everything is based on faith. But our faith, transcendental. What's that? Aprakrit Shraddha. It should be transcendental. Huh?
Faith is power, time is command.
Yes, absolutely. So, on this example, Kaviraj Goswami is showing that. So, yes, Gopinath Acharya then addressed Sarvabhauma. You're a great scholar and teacher of many disciples. There is no other scholar like you on earth. Nonetheless, because of bereft of even pinch of the Lord's mercy, you cannot understand Him, even though He's present in your home. Punch. To Sarvabhauma. Sarvabhauma was taken aback. So his brother-in-law was speaking so impudently, so he was shaken. It's not your fault. It's the verdict of the scriptures. Scriptures. And he started quoting the scriptures, and finally he quoted two verses, two most important verses, and those verses were just big blows for Sarvabhauma. The first one is actually from Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the prophecy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Krishna Vartnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangha Pangastra Parshadam Yagyaya Sankirtana Prayaya Ajantihi Sumedasaham. So in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 9 Yogendras are speaking to Maharaj Nimi, and they're mentioning many avatars. And one of them is this Gaura avatar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Avatar Asar, Gaura avatar. Yeah? So they mentioned that verse, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Yeah? Krishna Varnam means he's always reverberating the syllables, Krishna. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Akrishnam. And his color is Akrishna, means not black. Krishna generally is black, blackish complexion, Shyama Sundar. But this Antar Krishna Bahir Gaura. So Antar, inside he is Krishna. Bahir, outside, he is Gaura. He is covered by the golden hue of Sri Mati Radhika. That's why Gopinath Acharya quoted that verse. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangha Pangastra Parshadam. He's coming with all of his associates. Angas means the first expansions, Nityananda and Advaita and Balaram and Mahavishnu. And Anga, Upangas, Srivas and others. And Parishads, Sarvabhauma, Swarup Damodar, Raya Ramananda, Lalita and Vishaka, Shiki Mahiti Madhavi, Gadadhar, and the 6 Goswamis. And Yagyaya Sankirtana prayer. So those Sumedas are those intelligent people will worship him in the process of Sankirtan. As we were saying, worship Thakuraji, the deity, with holy name. So that's the process for Kali Yuga. And the second verse he quoted was from Mahabharata. Suvarna Varna Hemango, Suvarna Varna Hemango, Dadibi. Suvarna Varna Hemango, Varanga, Anadivi. Shanto. Anyway, in that verse, there are 4 features of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a householder and 4 features as sannyasi. It's a very important verse from the Mahabharata. Hemango Varanga Chandanam Didhi Sannyasa Krich Thama Shanto Nishta Shanta Parayana, that's the verse. No, still bus-like, I'm sorry, out of memory. No? Right. Hemanga. So the 4 features pertaining to his grihastha pastimes. Hemanga means shining as molten gold. Hemanga, anga, hemango. Varanga, he's so beautiful. Varanga. Chandanandivi, covered with chandan. Then sannyasa krit, kshama, is completely equipoised. Shanti, completely peaceful. Shanto, nishta parayana and shanti parayana. So he has unprecedented nishta, unprecedented faith, and unprecedented peacefulness. So those qualities of a sannyasi, typical for him. Sannyasa krit, kshama, shanto, Nishta Shanti Parayana. So those 2 verses Gopinath Acharya quoted, and finally Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was taken aback. So then Gopinath Acharya again, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya again invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then associates of Mahaprabhu, they were very much disturbed by the way Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was challenging the position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he told about that to the Lord, but the Lord was defending Sarvabhauma. He was saying, no, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is doing good. So the next morning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma together visited the temple of Lord Jagannath, and then he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're a sannyasi, you're a young sannyasi, so you have to hear Vedanta philosophy. I want to tell you Vedanta philosophy, please hear from me. So for 7 days continually, Sarvabhauma was telling him philosophy of Vedanta, impersonal interpretation, in the mood of Shankaracharya, in the mood of Advaita, non-difference. So, but Mahaprabhu was not saying anything. Not yes, no, what's next? I agree, I disagree. He was not saying anything, he was just silent. So on the 8th day, Sarvabhauma said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have been listening to Vedanta philosophy from me continually for 7 days. You have simply been listening, fixed in your silence. Since you don't say anything, I'm just wondering if you understand really what the subject is or not. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, I'm a fool. And therefore I don't study Vedanta Sutra. I'm just trying to hear it from you because you have ordered me. Only for the sake of executing the duties of renounced order of sannyas, I listen. Unfortunately, I cannot in the least understand the meaning you are speaking. You know, your philosophy is just like clouds covering the sun. The sunlight is very clear, but your interpretation is just covering the sun. Aha, you're thinking that you know better, so then you speak. And he told Mahaprabhu to speak. Then Mahaprabhu started speaking. The Vedic statements are self-evident. Whatever is stated there must be accepted. Brahma Sutra, compiled by Vyasadeva, is as radiant as the sun, Vedanta Sutra. But actually the supreme truth is the person, the supreme personality of Godhead. You're trying to explain him as impersonal and formless. Wherever there is impersonal description, the Vedas mean to establish that everything belonging to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and free from mundane conception, free from mundane characteristics. So impersonal, like some hints from which we can conclude that those statements of the Vedas show impersonal feature are actually meaning that the Lord has no material features, no mundane. He has form, transcendental form. But that's self-evident. Our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj explained very nicely that the Vedas constitute the complete theism, full theism, but Shankaracharya's interpretations are just covering that by some, how to say, artificial, impersonal features, which are actually absent. So there are two features, personal and impersonal. They are typical for the Supreme Lord. Yes, there's personal feature, impersonal feature. But it's not that personal feature does not exist, as the impersonal philosophy is saying. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead wished to become many, he glanced over material energy and he became many. So Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. He is the highest eternal amongst many eternals. Nitya Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. He is the highest conscious being amongst many conscious beings. That's it. So he is like the great sun, and we're like the sparks emanated from that sun. Yeah, so that is the real vision of theist, of a Vedantic theist. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was introducing that for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So according to the philosophical conceptions of impersonalists, the Lord is Nirvishesh, I mean the Brahman, impersonal feature of the Supreme is Nirvishesh, Nirakara, Nirashakta. Nirvishesha means having no features. Nirakara, having no activities. Nirashakta, meaning having no energies. So Mahaprabhu was quoting verse after verse, smashing those arguments, impersonal arguments. How can you say that he has no features? How can you say that he has no activities? How can you say that he has no energies? Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate, in the Vedic, in the Upanishads, it's saying that Parasya Shaktir, he has so many Shaktis, so many energies. So how can you say he has no energy? And so on. Very, very philosophical here. We don't have much time. So many quotations. It's actually a topic for a big, big seminar. When Gurudev was making us speak on these topics, it's very difficult to speak. So only the best speakers could really introduce the imports of these quotations presented by Mahaprabhu. So finally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, in the middle of the conversation, he recognized, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And I am an offender, he said, I am an offender. At the end of the conversation, he said. So when Sarvabhauma denounced himself as an offender, he took shelter of the Lord desired to show him mercy. He took shelter of the Lord. The Lord allowed him to see his Vishnu form. And immediately he assumed 4 hands, and he showed him 4-handed form, and then immediately appeared in his original form of Krishna. So he actually showed him first 6-armed form, then 4-armed form, then 2-armed form. So he saw everything. So you can see the bas relief on the wall in the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. If you've been, have you been? Jagannatha Puri? You've seen, okay. So he saw that 6-armed form, then 4-armed form, then original form of Krishna. He saw everything, yes. So when Sarvabhauma saw the form of Lord Krishna manifested by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately fell down flat in prostrated dandavats. Then he stood up and folded hands and began to offer prayers. So he composed actually 100 verses, the famous Sarvabhauma Shataka, and mostly they were uttered by him at that moment. And finally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya offered 1 verse to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually 2 verses, but that verse from Srimad Bhagavatam is very famous. Tatte nukampam susamikshama nubunjana Vatmavritam Vipakam Vidvadvapadir Vidadam Namaste Jivena Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhak. Instead of Mukti, he put Bhakti. He was so much disappointed by himself being former Mayavadi that he changed Mukti into Bhakti. And Mahaprabhu was smiling and said, no, you cannot change Srimad Bhagavad. And that verse is from Lord Brahma, when Brahma was also disappointed, when he challenged Krishna, Brahma challenged Krishna, everybody was, everybody was so much attracted by Krishna, so Brahma was just not able to understand why everybody is attracted to that boy. But he was trying to steal his cows and calves, and he put them in a cave and blocked with boulders. And then you remember the story. Then he was back from Brahmaloka, and he saw those same cows and covered boys in Vishnu forms. So he was very, very disappointed, and he offered 40 prayers, the Brahma Stutis, 40 prayers. And one of them was this, Tatte Nukampam Susamikshama Bunjana Evatma Vritkritam Vipakam Vidvago Vidadam Namaste Jivena. So Mukti Pade Sadayabhak. One who is tolerating the eventualities of life while continuing to worship you, means Krishna, with body, mind and words, like Danda. One is really qualified for liberation, mukti. But liberation in Vaishnava sense is definitely bhakti. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could not tolerate the word mukti, bhakti padesada. Mahaprabhu smiling, no, you cannot change Srimad Bhagavatam. So, as a result, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became a great, great follower of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, he's an incarnation of Brihaspati, incarnation of the great guru of the demigods. So then later, on the recommendation of Sarvabhauma, Lord Mahaprabhu went to South India, especially to meet Sri Ramananda. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very, very close devotee of Mahaprabhu, and he was also a servant of King Prataparudra, so very, very dear to us. But we heard this story today, and we see how the mighty manifestation of Mahaprabhu's conception was able to convert even greatest impersonalists into devotees. So Mahaprabhu was doing impossible possible, which is completely impossible possible. The impersonalists' hearts are completely dry like thorns and firm as stones, but Mahaprabhu made them devotees. So Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamritam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. So I'm so grateful to all the devotees. Devotion Prabhu.
Somebody has a question?
Yeah. Questions? Yes, Didi. Yes, please.
Quote Mahaprabhu about waar is niet beslist, nog niet beslist. Is het in de Chaitanya?
Yeah, Chaitanya. In the 6th chapter of Madhya Lila.
And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. She became from Mayavadi to Vaishnava. And did he also have some disciples?
Yeah, many disciples. In fact, we heard how his disciples were siding him in the debate with Gopinath Acharya. So many disciples. So I presume that they became devotees also after that, because their guru became devotees, so they had to accept the conception of their guru.
Many people don't know is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still. So how can that come? Because he has made a lot of Mayavadis to Vaishnavas. But still he is unknown by a lot of Mayavadis.
Yes.
So how come that?
Unrecognized. Well, you see, that's because of the fact that Mayavadi is a special philosophy given by the Lord for Kali Yuga. Mayavadi is not, the Mayavad philosophy is not just accidental arrangement. That's how to say, proper arrangement. In the same way that Kali Yuga came, we can say, oh, how is it possible that Kali Yuga came? And since, for example, Mahaprabhu came, so Kali Yuga should stop. No, Kali Yuga will not stop. And Mayavad also will not stop, because it's a philosophy of Kali Yuga. In the beginning of Jaiva Dharma, Babaji Maharaj, Premdas Babaji Maharaj is saying that Lord Shiva took the form of Shankaracharya, especially for introducing that particular philosophy of Mayavad, the particular philosophy of Kali Yuga. So it was meant specially for preventing unscrupulous persons not qualified for Krishna Bhakti from entering Krishna Bhakti. They could not enter Krishna Bhakti by their disqualification. They could not. Therefore, Mayavad was meant specially for that. Okay, everything is one. You just think that everything is one and stay away from Krishna Bhakti, because if unscrupulous persons enter Krishna Bhakti, they pollute the whole society. Better they stay Mayavad. So we know so many devotees, like beginning devotees, some of that not so good, but anyway, better that kind of devotee than Mayavadi. Anyway, if somebody is a devotee, making some mistakes, some duplicity maybe, still okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. Much better than impersonalist, because impersonalist is worst offend. Mayavadi, Krishna aparadi. Mahaprabhu was saying very, very clearly. So to be a Mayavadi and to associate with Mayavadis is even more dangerous than committing any sins, because that's the worst aparad actually. To see that the form of the Lord is nothing. That's great, great aparad. So Mahaprabhu was not only converting Mayavadis, Buddhists also. When many Buddhists, they became devotees. So he was making impossible possible.
Only those who were qualified Mayavad can become Krishna.
Well, in the case of Sarvabhauma, he's guru of the demigods. Brihaspati, yes. So certainly he's qualified. That was his lila. But well, qualification for bhakti is sometimes just pure mercy. You cannot, how to say, on the one hand, it's a very big actually question, but on one hand you can be qualified for mercy, on the other hand, no qualification for mercy. Like Mahaprabhu was walking through forests of Jharkhand, and all the creatures, all the big animals, small animals, they were becoming not only devotees, like premi bhaktas, like they were receiving prema at the spot, Yeah, and those people, residents of villages, they were coming to see the, mates, the village people from the same village, and they were embracing them, and it was going on like electricity. Like electricity, it was like from the air, like sort of contagious disease. Right? It's like contagious disease. Means like flow of mercy. When the flow is going, you're taken by the flow. Imagine the flow. And so like in Japan you saw, right? So just all the cars are just taken by the flow. You cannot do anything. It's taking you. So, but if you want Mayavadi is Krishna Paradi, is a separate category, but Sarvabhauma was certainly qualified, and his disciples also did. I presume they followed their guru.
Who is Mayavadi? Who think that Krishna is the same as all the demigods? Is that Mayavadi?
Not only all the demigods. He's saying that I am Krishna. I am Narayan. That's why Sarvabhauma said that Namo Narayana. Because when they become sannyasis, Mayavadis, they salute each other, Namo Narayana.
He is.
Yeah, because I have become Narayana now. Same. Narayana is like abstract category. So I am Brahman, you are Brahman. That is also Brahman. Jiva, Jada, also Brahman. See? So this is Jiva and this is Jada. Also Brahman, Brahman. And Narayan also Brahman. So when Jiva becomes one with Narayan, becomes Narayan. That's the impersonal philosophy. But actually this is not so. That's why Nityananda broke Danda into three. Bhagavan, Jiva, Maya. One meaning, another meaning, Kaya, Mana, Vacha, Sevakaro. Service. Means Bhakti. Yeah, so these three in the triangle are connected by Bhakti, process of Bhakti. But Mayavadis, they're taking the process of Bhakti and saying everything is one, no matter who to worship, Kali, Ganesh, Shiva, Surya, Vishnu, same. Yes, they say Yatunata Tapat. Whatever your Lord, your way. Okay, you want to worship Devi, worship Devi. You worship Ganesh, worship Ganesh. That's what they think. So ultimately, like Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, those people, they were thinking like this. But Vaishnavas are saying no. If you have a ticket for Vrindavan, you go to Vrindavan. If you have a ticket to New York, go to New York. If you have a ticket to, Tokyo, go to Tokyo, anywhere. So it depends on destination. Krishna also saying, if you want to worship demigods, you go to demigods. You want to worship ghosts, you go to ghosts. You want to worship me, you go to me. It doesn't say that, oh, if you worship Kali, you come to me. Never. You worship Ganesh, you come to me. No. Krishna is saying, those who worship demigods, they worship me also, yes, but in an improper way, partially. They do partial worship, and they get partial result. From Ganesh, they get money. And from Devi, they get some prosperity. And from Surya, they have health, etc. And from Shiva, the mystic powers, but from Krishna, everything. But they don't want anything. Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, don't want. Not anything, only Krishna Prem. So Gurudev was teaching us, only you desire Krishna Prem. When you're in Vraj, you also don't think about anything else, only about Krishna Prem. So that is the philosophy of Shuddha Bhakti. And as we were saying yesterday, we were hearing about those Leelas of Mahaprabhu, very sweet Leelas, so we're envisioning we'll enter those Leelas. So that is, what's that? Anugrahaya Bhaktanam, Manushya Dehamastitaha, Tatu Krida, Kridaso, and Krida, Tat Parobhavet. In the Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that Krishna has come specially in a human-like form to attract those jivas, those living entities, so that they enter his pastimes. Kridaso tat parobhavet, so that by hearing they become members of the pastimes. That's the whole thing. But to become member, you have to be Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, so by worship Thakuraji by Nam, by how to say, holy name. So that's our process. Nice. Tomorrow we'll discuss the glories of Sri Sachidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Sri Gadadhar Pandit. Tomorrow is their disappearance day. Very intimately related. There's a big reason why they left on the same day. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. So please try to come. I know you're in different locations far away, but our humble requests. And finally, I think I'm getting much better after my long bus ride, but still was a bit difficult today to speak. Right, because I was speaking Russian so many days, then speaking Polish for 4 days, and speaking English, changing languages depending on location. But thank you so much. You are very kind and hearing so attentively, really. Thanks for Indubhushan Prabhu and his kind words, and Harikatha also translation.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thanks for the luxury mic, our best friend, who is the hero of today's evening. It's the last one of this construction. The last one. No, better construction is coming anyway. Okay, so Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. If some more questions at Prasad, we can discuss. Now we have to sing Arati and see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Hari Bol. Oh, I just have to.